Well, hello, it's Saturday today, and I would like to say good morning, but it's actually nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is when I've decided to start my weekend reading vlog. It's still just about light outside, but it does feel like most of the day is sort of gone. We've had just quite a busy morning of sorting everything out because it's the last weekend after Christmas and New Year. I've been off for basically 2 weeks. And this is the last weekend before going back to work and getting back into the proper routine, so having a bit of a lazy one. We did a whole big clear out last weekend, so we took some stuff to the charity shop today. I recycled an old laptop, and then we've just been having an MOT, like a relationship MOT, which we have maybe like, I want to say once a year or maybe once every 18 months. It's actually my favourite thing to talk about. It's like my one piece of relationship advice, if you could say that I can give that, which I love telling people about because it's such a good idea. And it's Will's idea. It was your idea, wasn't it?
It was.
Darling, well done. Which is basically you just take a time, you take a few hours aside, and you both write down a few things that you want to talk about in your relationship. It can be about anything, like anything that's annoying you, I guess, about the other person. And you basically take it in turns to go through each point, and you have to just sit and listen to the other person, let them finish before you kind of respond. And it's just nice. It feels really nice when we have them because it's almost like sort of going to the gym we were talking about earlier, isn't it? Like it just reminds you, it just like helps you keep your relationship healthy and reminds you of stuff that you said you would do and maybe you haven't been doing or whatever.
I think as well, it's about hello. It's not only just going through each point, but it's kind of going in. It's number one, kind of it being like a safe environment, not like an arguing environment.
Yeah,
so
you're
you both
calm
know
when you do it.
to like expect criticism, and therefore you're more prepared for it. But also like being prepared to actually like act upon what the other person has said and kind of to like, you know, say yes, I've done this wrong, or admit fault, and do you know what I mean? So to actually physically respond to those points, and you know that the other person's going to do the same, so it kind of feels like it's okay because you're both, you know, it takes two to tango at the end of the day.
Yeah, and like I think you're right. It's nice because you come to it calm and you come to it expecting that you're going to be criticised, I guess, but expecting that you're going to have to accept what the other person's saying in a nice way. Well, we always feel kind of nice after doing it, don't we? In a way, like it's sort of, it's like, I don't know, you feel a bit more connected. So that's been our morning, and now it's 3 o'clock. And we're about to go for a walk on Hampstead Heath to get out of the house, just to get the last bits of the daylight, and then we're going to go for dinner in a pub near there, which is going to be so nice. But we're also going to do a bit of reading this weekend, I think. So far, I'm reading A Far Cry from Kensington by Muriel Spark, which I've had on my shelf for ages and just haven't read, and it's interesting. It's a bit, I think it's kind of set in the 50s. But it's a woman who's looking back on her life when she used to live in Kensington, and it's all about the different characters that she lived with in this rooming house. And it's just a little bit interesting. I don't really know what it's about yet. I can't really explain what it's about. But I'm enjoying reading it. I've not read any Muriel Spark before. And Will is reading Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Saucy! I'm also about balancing it out with the Investment Times.
Oh, okay, good.
It's not all smart.
We wouldn't want you to get too literary, would we?
No.
But this is his grandma's book, isn't it? It's your grandma's
book.
It's
one of these like lovely old penguin versions. It was my grandma who suddenly passed away last year, and just sort of going through her bits and pieces, this popped up, and me and Alice had a fight over it as well as to who was going to get it first.
Will's sister.
And being the older brother, I won that one.
So Will's trying to read it, and then he's going to send it to Alice so she can read it as well. So that's number one. I'm also listening to an audiobook at the moment, and hopefully A Far From Kensington isn't that long, so I probably will pick something else up tomorrow. But yeah, just because it's relaxed couple weekend really, just kind of relax. I don't have too many plans, and yeah, just recovering basically from all of the festivities. Will got this wax jacket for Christmas. Oh, and this flat cap. And this is the first time he's wearing them. Oh my God, look at you. You look so cute. You look like a proper country gent, like on Hampstead Heath.
I love it.
You just need like a whippet to go with you.
And a cane.
And a cane, a walking stick.
And a cigar. And then come home to my whiskey.
You alright, Willie?
Yeah.
Just checking our position. I think it looks brighter on my phone than it really does in real life. Like it's actually quite dark. We're gonna get lost in the woods.
What could possibly go wrong?
It looks more ominous in real life than on the phone, doesn't it?
I think it looks worse on the phone. We're back. I'm basically in the same position before we left, so maybe we never went, maybe it's all a lie. I'm just a little bit more tired. It's 8 o'clock now, so we've been out for quite a long time, but obviously it got dark on the heath pretty quickly. So then we just went to Waterstones Cafe to have a read of our books, and then went to the Hollybush for dinner, which was really nice, but I am like proper exhausted now. So I think we're going to get in our PJs and watch a film or something. The book, I'm more than halfway through, so I'm hoping I can finish it quite speedily. I guess maybe hopefully tomorrow morning, so I get onto something else as well. And it's interesting. It doesn't have like a great deal of plot. It's really about this woman, Mrs. Hawkins, who is working in publishers. And it's kind of about who she's meeting in publishing and about who the people are in the guest house that she's staying in. So there's this Polish woman called Wanda who's having problems with someone sending her weird letters and like harassing her with phone calls. But it's almost like each plot point isn't that big in and of itself. It's more like her sort of wry observations on these different people and these different characters and what's happening, and it is quite witty. It's funny, her disdain at some of these awful authors that she has to deal with and some of the dreadful writing and the people in like the upper classes that she's meeting. It's sort of just like her life, really. So it's good. It's a good introduction. I think Will is enjoying Lady Chatterley's Lover. Oh my god, literally right on cue. Oh, I thought you were coming in. I just mentioned you and you came along. Well, I was going to the toilet, but sure. Bring me in at this moment.
You don't have to come and talk if you don't want to.
How can I help?
I just said I think you're enjoying Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Yeah. No, it's as I say, like I'm not nowhere near as well read as you, but as a modernist book.
I think that's right. See, the thing is, I was telling Will all about modernism, like at dinner, and now I feel like if I put it on the internet, it will be wrong. I'll have said the wrong thing. But I was talking about.
But yeah, no, it's really interesting, and having just read David Copperfield, it's kind of like a change in style, but obviously two different classical styles, and you know, I'm kind of keen to get up to speed with all things classical anyway, so it's cool to kind of compare and contrast.
Should we do some reading tomorrow?
Yeah, sure, let's do it. I'm up for that.
Okay. All right, you can go to the toilet now. Thank you for your little...
Thanks,
I look so tired. I look so tired. Oh my god, look at that horse.
TriStar. Remember, you know what I love most about this film? Or like one of the little like nods that they did is when he flies Pan Am.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, oh, I get it.
Why is that a nod?
Because he's Peter Pan.
Ah!
Pan Am.
Yeah, right, I get it now. I didn't get that before. Because it's Peter Pan. I've not watched this, I didn't watch this very much when I was younger, so I don't know it that well.
When we met the first florist that we were going to have.
Oh yeah, the Hoxton Hotel?
Yeah.
What, go for a read? Or something?
Yeah, you have to go there for a coffee and a read.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Good morning. I'm going to go to a yoga class today, which I haven't been to for ages, but I'm feeling a bit sort of groggy and stiff in my body, also because ballet's been on a hiatus over Christmas. I haven't really done anything properly stretchy in a while, so doing that today, and then We're hopefully going to go to Dishoom for breakfast afterwards, although we'll have to queue, so I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll get in. I'm going to send Will a little bit earlier, if he ever gets dressed, to go and queue for us. That'd be a nice morning. And then after that, we basically don't have any plans for today. I think it's just like relaxing and reading. So the class was cancelled because the teacher didn't turn up. So I've not had a very healthy morning so far, but I've just told Will to get here as soon as possible, so we're going to go and get some breakfast. I've finished my book and I really enjoyed it. It got quite exciting towards the end. I think right at the beginning I just thought, oh, it's just this woman, this funny woman who's going about her day and working in publishing. But then she meets this guy called Hector, who is an awful, awful author. Well, an awful writer, and he wants to get his work published, and he just keeps pestering her, and she just calls him rude names and says, oh, go away, you're rubbish. But then it turns out he's like infiltrating himself in her life and in the lives of all these other people, like people she used to work with or people that she lives with, and it kind of got a little bit, quite a lot happened towards the end. I expected it to just be a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more chill, just like a jolly read about London life in the 50s. But yeah, I really got into it. I read it very quickly. So that's a thumbs up from me for Muriel Spark. I have then just been we've been lazing around. Like this morning we obviously went for breakfast and then we went to the Hoxton Hotel just to have a little bit of coffee and a read. And then we came home and then we've just been sitting around basically relaxing and reading. I've also been sorting out stuff for my Patreon on my computer, which I'm really excited about because I've not really run a little book club by myself before, and like the Patreon thing's all new, and yeah, I feel like I've started my channel for the first time again. Like I've created a little page and hoping people will join in. So yeah, that's been quite fun. I'm being extremely ambitious with the amount of videos. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I'll show you. This is like my little schedule for the entire year of what videos I want to film, and when I'm going to film them. Ooh, and like, I don't know what they're going to be about. I really like planning it, and I'm being quite ambitious for how many I'm going to film, obviously because it's a new year. But I don't know, that gets me excited. But it's also fun working out like what extra videos I'm going to do for Patreon and like how that's going to be arranged. So I'm feeling quite sorted at the moment. So it's starting to get dark now. I did want to go for a run later. It's like 4:45, but I think Will might be going to the gym. Yes. Are you going to go to the gym in that building? Yeah. So I might just join him there, because if it's dark it doesn't really matter if you're running inside. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I could get dinner started, have it on while we're running, could start a new book, could just like chill on my laptop. Just one of those nice easygoing Sundays really. I think because it's getting dark earlier it feels like it's the end of the day, but I've actually got a whole lot of evening left. I'm gonna make some dinner. We're gonna have this pork and apple stew thing from my Leon cookbook. It takes quite a long time in the oven, so I'm gonna get that sorted. Then put it in the oven and it'll all be done when we come back from the gym, hopefully. I am gymmed, I am showered, I am pajamaed. the perfect combination. And I'm back in my little corner seat, my little place where I belong. When we bought this sofa, Will was like, oh, that corner bit, I'm gonna sit in there all the time. And does he? No, it's just me. I'm not yet fed. That's what I'm waiting for, but just got the dinner on. I'm really, really pleased we went to the gym. Will did a bit of a run, and then also some, like, I don't know, other stuff, weight things, workouty bits, and I ran a cheeky 5k, which is good considering I missed my yoga class this morning. It was good to do something a bit active, and so I'm just chilling now till dinner. It's still quite early, it's still only 6:30, so we're doing well. I did just realise though that I have a video to edit, like, for tomorrow, which I completely forgot about because I filmed it ages ago and then just thought, ah, that's my job done, and like ticked it off my list and didn't do anything with it. So I might do that now while I'm waiting for dinner to finish. Yeah, and then I guess the evening is our own. I don't know if I'll read any more tonight, but I was listening to my audiobook while I was running, it's so excellent. I have talked about this in another video, but it's brilliant. It's called Pain and Prejudice by Gabrielle Jackson, and it's all about sort of institutional sexism in women's healthcare, in terms of like what it's like for women going to the doctor and not being believed when they give pain symptoms, and also like the certain conditions like endometriosis and chronic pain and chronic fatigue syndrome, and things that mostly or wholly affect women, and the fact there's no research for them, and like no proper cures for them, and all this kind of stuff. And it's got so much detail in there, and it's so comprehensive, and it's amazing, and I'm just astounded as I'm listening to it. I quite like listening to non-fiction on audiobook, which is why I downloaded it. I don't know if it probably would have been better to be read, maybe, because a lot of it is kind of lists of things and explanations of either female body parts or like specific conditions and how much funding is given to each thing, and I think that might have been easier for me to read than listen to, but I don't regret like listening to it at all. It's fantastic, so I can't wait to finish that. I'm nearly at the end, so I'm really looking forward to reviewing that once that's completed. And yeah, just deciding what my next book is going to be, basically. I don't really know. I mean, I do have a list, like I have a little pile of TBR books, but yeah, I don't know what I'm in the mood for. So we'll see. So I'm just coughing.